COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Two powerful FM signals, one AM signal, and online at wgnsradio.com means that you can listen to us anywhere. AM, FM, online.
First shot.
85 years. Murfreesboro Medical Clinic has been a cornerstone of health and compassion in our community. From our humble beginnings to the advanced, comprehensive care we offer today, our commitment to you has never wavered. With 8 locations across Murfreesboro and Middle Tennessee and over 100 physicians, we continue to provide the highest standard of care. Then, now, and always, your health is our mission.
We're the Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, audio and video streaming at wgnsradio.com. This is the Roundtable. A look at the news, views, politics, and people that are shaping Rutherford County.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Tuesday morning edition of the Roundtable Show with Rick and Wayne. And good morning, Wayne. How are you, buddy?
Good morning, Rick. Hot.
Yeah, gosh, isn't it? It's so hot.
Caliente.
I'm sorry I brought it with me. I went away on vacation this weekend.
Wow.
We were in the extreme, and now here we are today in the
miserable. I mean, this is as much dog days of summer that I can ever remember. I mean, rain like crazy during the spring and the first of the summer. Now it's just hot as Hades.
It sure is.
So just
crazy times.
Crazy time. And I just think of those years when we played football, you know, practicing in July and August and in those helmets and shoulder pads. And, you know, how did we ever get in shape to be able to, and how are these young athletes getting in shape to stand this kind of heat?
I guess we just didn't think about it. I mean, I remember playing baseball, and on Sundays we played American Legion baseball, and it started at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we played double headers. So, you know, can you imagine making a kid do that today?
Oh,
it would not
goodness.
happen.
Wow. One thing about this heat, it makes me happy that we have a pontoon, because I sure do enjoy being in the water.
Well, I kind of said no to my wife having a pool, but she's about to win me over if this keeps up with my age. It's terrible, man. It's terrible.
What is it? Boats and pools, the happiest you are when you first get them and then get rid of them.
That's right, especially with them boats. I've been down that road.
Yeah, so, hey, it's football time in Tennessee, Rick. It's Titans are practicing, middle's practicing, high schools. I mean, it's all around us.
I might have to study the Titans. I think there's not a player I don't know a name of right now. It just seems like they're either hurt or gotten waived or something. It's just
a lot of new faces. And, you know, the thing that just blew me away was when Coach Mason came to the Blue Raider Bash that we partnered with Smyrna Rotary. And, you know, and told us he had 63 new faces.
Isn't that crazy?
Going, wow. And I heard an interview that I think he said they had 49, so that's well over 100 players, 149 that had actually walked through the halls before. So with this new thing that supposed to kick in whenever, I think you can have 105 on scholarship or with NIL, or you can have 105 either scholarship and or walk-ons, however you want to do it. So
yeah. I think he and Derek even might have talked about that, because he said they can travel with 63. So still 63 players on a travel squad just seems like a lot to me.
Well, used to be, I thought it used to be 53, so I don't know.
Well, I know the NFL is that way, so yeah.
I don't know. But Rick, we've got a great friend and fellow Rotarian with us this morning, who's the director of the Smyrna Airport, and would like to say welcome and thank you for being with us, Evan Lester.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here.
I think you'll have a great time with Rick and I. Why don't you tell our audience a little bit about you? Of course, John Black was there for a long, long time, and you know, you've had some pretty good sized shoes to fill.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, John was there for more than 30 years, and he has definitely made a huge impact on the airport and the community. You know, whether it be Smyrna or Murfreesboro or Rutherford County, just in general, he had a huge impact and still is involved heavily in other things. A little bit about myself. I actually grew up in Columbia, Tennessee, so not too far down the road.
So is it Maury or Murray? How do you pronounce it?
I say Murray. I say Murray. Some might say Maury, but I say Murray.
Okay.
Just sometimes, that gets confused with Murray, Kentucky, so I get it.
Yeah.
But grew up in Murray County in Columbia, where I lived there for 18 years, and I went to high school. It was 250-person high school, or school, K through 12. It was in rural Hampshire, Tennessee. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of that.
I go through it on my way to
don't
Buffalo.
know that I'm familiar.
Yeah, Hampshire, Tennessee.
You go from 55 to 30 real quick.
Exactly.
When you go through there.
Exactly, yeah. So you go over the hill, you enter Hampshire,
Yep.
and then you say, "See ya, Hampshire." Within just maybe,
exactly right.
But that community that I just can't say enough of it. It's a rural, small town community. It's a public school, K through 12. Everybody has their, each other's back and looking out for the best of each other. And it was a great environment to learn in and grow in. I played baseball there, so that was fun. I was a pitcher and left fielder when I was there. But I really grew accustomed and really loved airplanes and aviation when I was a kid. When I took my first plane ride out to California on American Airlines. And I fell in love with it ever since. I was trying to figure out what exactly I wanted to do following that. So, I was like, okay, well, do I go into air traffic control? Do I become a dispatcher? So I did go that route. After graduating high school, I went to MTSU, where I got my bachelor's in aviation, where I did flight dispatch. So I got my dispatch certificate, loved it, had nothing wrong with it. But I came to realize after that I really wanted to be out in the field. I wanted to be at an airport, make an impact of some sort on the community and the airport that I wanted to be at. And so I went back to MTSU and I got my master's degree in aviation administration, so airport management, operations, those sorts of things. And that's where I met John Black. It was during the graduate program. And so I was fortunate enough to get an internship with him during my graduate degree program at the airport, at Smyrna Airport, and I loved it ever since. And, that was one thing that I always told John, if I could ever have an opportunity to come back, this is where I'd want to come back to. Obviously, at the end of my internship, there was no opportunity to do that, so I ended up going to the TDOT Aeronautics Division. So now a lot of people have heard of Aeronautics Division. Most of the time you associate TDOT with highways.
Sure.
But TDOT has Aeronautics Division.
I had no idea.
Yeah, so basically what they do is they license and inspect airports that are not certified by the FAA specifically, do grant writing, work with the FAA a lot on grants and funding, but also do planning and environmental and things like those nature. But I worked at TDOT Aeronautics Division for about 7 years before coming to Smyrna Airport, where 5 of those were being the airport planning environmental manager for all the Tennessee public use airports minus the commercial service ones. So there's about 72 general aviation airports across the state. And so I had the opportunity to work with each of those airports, help plan, guide their development, learn their operations. And I really feel like that really benefited me coming back to Smyrna, because I got to see what a rural, small airport looked like versus something like Smyrna. And so got to learn all the different tips, tricks of the trade to be able to hopefully come to Smyrna Airport and fill those big shoes of John that he has left, in that hole that he left when he left, to be able to continue the mission and the vision of the Airport Authority, because they've done a fantastic job. If you've ever been out to Smyrna Airport and just seen all the businesses and the operations there, trying to continue that legacy of all the people of the past that have contributed so much to the airport. That's really my goal, is to continue the growth and development of the airport in the way that it already has been growing.
With you having that other role, can you talk a little bit about how special Smyrna Airport is? I grew up out there, and my father moved his company here, and when I was a year old. So I'm a dang Yankee, as they would say. But Smyrna's been my home ever since. But Smyrna's a special place because same thing you're talking about other airports around the state, but it being an ex-Air Force base and the length of the runways and close to a metropolitan thing. But talk about that a little bit versus what you see here versus what we can offer, basically.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So, we, as you mentioned, Seward Air Force Base was there in the 1940s. It was deactivated in 1970. A lot of people, historically wise, have grown up around the base, and their family members and generations have grown up around the base, and it's special and home to them. And every day I think about how special it is to work in an airport with such rich history, and the people that support it, that have moved here because of the base in the past, and those who are still living with us today. I think there's still some that used to work at the base still with us. Sure. My mother-in-law's father actually was a civilian worker at the base too, and so I got to learn a little bit before unfortunately he passed away about what he did at the base. It was really cool to learn that history. Mr. Hodge, Lytle Hodge.
Amazing guy.
Yeah, Lytle Hodge. He was a great man for sure, and so I got to learn a lot from him about what he did at the base, and it was kind of cool, as we were unfortunately when he passed away, he had aviator glasses, stowed aside and things from the base. It was just really cool to see that history. But in terms of our size, we have 2 runways. One is 8,038 foot long. And if you look, technically our runway is 10 feet longer than 3 out of the 4 at Nashville International. So if you look at Nashville and you see all those big planes landing at Nashville, 9 times out of 10, those types of planes can land at Smyrna. And so that we really pride ourselves in that because it's very hard to find a general aviation airport in the state of Tennessee with an 8,000 foot runway. It doesn't happen. And so we have a very special opportunity to provide, unique services. We are what's called an FAA Part 139 certificated airport. And so we're able to do unscheduled passenger service. So like Middle Tennessee State University football teams fly in and out of Smyrna. Their opponents sometimes fly out of Smyrna. Basketball teams fly in and out of Smyrna, and so we're able to provide that community service to those sports teams and also others. We've had NASCAR, with the NASCAR race in June,
takes over
July,
there for a weekend.
and May. Yep, it takes over at Smyrna Airport, and even the Great Tennessee Air Show. With the long of a runway we have, we're able to have such a great event and bring that to the community that has such a tremendous impact on not only an economic standpoint but the younger generation's lives. We always plan for this event, but John's motto when he was helping direct the air show this year is safety first, no surprises, and have fun. And so if you do the first 2 right, you can do the last one, which is have fun. And so if you turn around to the crowd after all of the hard work that the men and women did to prepare for the air show, and you see all the young children out there on the shoulders of everyone, and it's just it just makes you just have goosebumps just to see that we're making an impact on the younger generation to hopefully that they can be inspired to go there. But that also provides such a great benefit to the community, and then also too, we have over 51 businesses on the field because of our facility, and so we support over 1,500 jobs directly and indirectly, and have over a $232 million economic impact on the community and the state on an annual basis. So we wouldn't be able to do what we do without having a facility like we do. And so I think that's what truly makes Smyrna, some of the aspects that make Smyrna Airport unique is we're able to have that size of facility to be able to have these different types of events, have these different types of business and opportunities that we can give the community.
Prior to 9/11, Smyrna Rotary Club partnered with the Donaldson Hermitage Club, and we did the air show at that time. And I can recall a buddy of mine from the class of 1972 at Smyrna flew in a C-5 Galaxy. I guess maybe the Soviets might have had a plane a little larger, but that was certainly our largest plane. And just to see that thing land and take off was mind-blowing, that you had a runway long enough for that aircraft to get up off the ground. I mean, because it was massive. I got to go up in the cockpit, and they've got an escape hatch. they're in the cockpit, and you feel like you're about 7 or 8 stories high when you look through that portal. So just crazy that plane, that Smyrna had had a runway that you could use for a plane of that size.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's not only, we always enjoy having the military come out. We support the military and glad to have them at the airport. Also, we get to help businesses too. They fly in cargo to the airport, and they need bigger planes to do that. And so you think Nissan or some of these bigger manufacturing companies that need instantaneous or on-demand parts or supplies to keep the factories running, we're able to provide that benefit too to the airport instead of having to go to Nashville and be 30-40 minutes stuck in traffic, or
longer.
Or longer, yeah, or longer, depending on the time of day, for sure. But it's a true benefit, I believe, to our community to be able to provide the services that we do in order to allow them to do what they can do.
Yeah, there's a twin engine bearing that comes between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. every day. It comes out of Brownsville, Texas, and I'm sure it's bringing parts in for Nissan, but it'll come over my house every morning. But he's got a distinct engine sound, and I know it's him when he comes over.
Well, and of course, growing up, here in the Smyrna and Laverne area, when Seward was full force, especially in the Vietnam era, C-130 Hercules just came over all the time. I mean, that was the plane of choice, I guess, for the air base, and it was just. It was nothing to see low-flying C-130s, which, I guess I can't tell you the last time I saw one. It's been so long.
Yeah, the C-130s. Yeah, Seward Air Force Base had a lot of C-130s. Several of our hangars were built specifically for C-130s, and kind of ironically, Fat Albert with the Blue Angels is a C-130, and so. Unfortunately, we did have bad weather on Saturday, and that caused some issues. And so they were asking, do you have hangar space? And I'm like, well, we certainly do. We have one built just for your airplane.
We can accommodate that
They
request.
didn't believe me, but I said these were all C-130, type hangars. And I was like, well, if you want to park it in here, we certainly can do that. But they ended up parking 7 jets. Into a hangar alone, and so it was pretty interesting.
Oh, wow.
Instead of parking the one C-130, they parked all the 7 jets into one hangar, and they folded the wings up, and it was kind of cool. Unfortunately, the logistics was frantic, but it's kind of cool to be able to see we can accommodate that sort of thing on a split second. But they were shocked that we even had that to offer. Was a C-130 type of hangar built for that aircraft.
So is Fat Albert? Is it for mechanical emergencies, that kind of stuff?
So Fat Albert brings a lot of the equipment to the air show. So they'll load up all the military equipment for the Blue Angels. They'll also bring the personnel that don't fly in the jets, like their mechanics and other support and logistics teams, to the airport on Fat Albert from Pensacola. Okay. And so it really can be utilized as kind of like a passenger and hauling cargo transport type aircraft.
It's a parts plane.
Okay.
Like a parts truck.
Yeah.
They got to carry all the spare engine and
Yeah.
everything, so if something goes down on the jet, they have it.
Exactly.
Well, and the C-130 is also used as a gunship too. Can't you mount cannons? It's a pretty durable platform, from what I recall.
Yeah, and it can do some short fields as well. They used to use jet assistant takeoff on the aircraft, so they can do some short fields to get out of the territory if they needed to. But Fat Albert can also do performances at the air show. So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they'll fly on the first day. They won't fly the last day, because last day is always load up. Let's get back to Pensacola and prepare for the next air show. But they'll fly on the first day of the air show and do some aerobatic stunts. I actually got to ride on Fat Albert on the Friday before the air show started and during their practice run, and it was a pretty cool experience. It was the men and women on that plane were fantastic. We got to bring some distinguished guests on there to say thank you for all they do for the community, and it was a fantastic time. And they were blaring rock music the whole flight, and we were going up, and we were getting 0 G's, negative G's, being pushed in our chair left and right. I mean, it was pretty fun.
So you didn't get to have the throttle or the
oh no I don't think I'm certified to fly the Fat Albert, but no, it was a unique experience that I'll never forget.
What I'm amazed at with the traffic that you have, the air traffic you have at Smyrna, and then with what comes into Nashville, and then there's another smaller field, I think, is it Toon?
John Toon.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm just amazed that you can keep up with all those planes coming into the Middle Tennessee area. I guess I just don't understand how you can have that kind of crowd in the sky and do it effectively and safely.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. So, fortunately for our airport, we have an air traffic control tower. And so we are the 4th busiest airport in the entire state of Tennessee. We have 120,000 operations a year, and we are the busiest general aviation airport in the state. And so we get jet traffic, we get single engine, multi-engine, pretty much any type of aircraft. We even have a blimp on the field, which some people don't know. But we have a great air traffic control tower staff who provides great services in and out of the airport, and we certainly can't do it without them. And also, too, we have a great airport team. We have about 15 members on our team that not a lot of people know, behind the scenes, get to see every day, but we have our Department of Public Safety, who has aircraft rescue and firefighting if needed. We also have our maintenance staff. We have the airport admin staff. We have air traffic control, who's not on our staff, but hired by the FAA to control the tower. So it takes a team, and we have an amazing team at the airport that we truly cannot do it without each and every one of them. We always say that we're blessed to be here, and we're always going to make sure we take care of the airport and the people who use it. So we try to make sure that safety is always number one, and we continue that model every single day in everything we do to make sure that we have a facility that is operational and safe for everyone to be able to use it and for their needs.
That's amazing. You listen to the director of the Smyrna Airport. Is it Smyrna Airport Authority, or is it just Smyrna Airport? I know, and we can get into that, but that's a special designation that what Smyrna has over most airports as well. But you're listening to Evan Lester. We're going to take our first break, and we'll be right back with you in just a minute.
For 75 years, Murfreesboro Medical Clinic has been a cornerstone of health and compassion in our community. From our humble beginnings to the advanced, comprehensive care we offer today, our commitment to you has never wavered. With 8 locations across Murfreesboro and Middle Tennessee and over 100 physicians, we continue to provide the highest standard of care. Then, now, and always, your health is our mission.
Is your business getting slowed down by constant IT issues? At Syscorp Computer Services, we take the stress out of technology. Our managed IT services include on-site and remote support, managed services, cybersecurity, cloud backups, and more, all tailored to fit your business. Let us handle the tech so you can focus on what matters most. Call Syscorp today for your free consultation at 615-809-3687 or visit our website at sys-corp.net. sys-corp.net.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
I'm Betsy Maples with Maples Realty and Auction. Are you looking for the perfect blend of city conveniences and country charm? The Maples has it all and features homes from 5 quality local builders and has amenities including a pool, tennis and pickleball courts, basketball, and soccer areas. Schedule a tour with Maples Realty and Auction today. Call us at 615-896-4740 or visit the Maples of Murfreesboro.com.
Maples Realty and Auction.
Good Neighbor Events is brought to you by Old National Bank, the law offices of John Day, and AmeriCare Pest Control.
This is a paid legal ad.
I'm attorney John Day. Many lawyers are quick to say that they'll take the insurance company to court for you. But how do you know if the lawyer is an experienced trial attorney? Ask them if they're certified. And in order to be certified, you have to have tried a lot of cases, taken a 2-day test, and get recommendations from judges and other lawyers. My wife Joy and I are both certified as civil trial specialists, and we have the experience to get the answers, justice, and compensation your family deserves. Call the law offices of John Day.
Let's check those WGNS Good Neighbor events. If you live in the city limits of Murfreesboro, you need to attend a town hall meeting Monday night, August 4th, 6 o'clock that evening at First Presbyterian Church. Murfreesboro Mayor Shane McFarland will conduct the town hall meeting. It's your opportunity to share your ideas. You need to be there. That's the Murfreesboro Town Hall meeting, 6 o'clock Monday night, August 4th, and that's at Murfreesboro's First Presbyterian Church. There's a grief support group every Wednesday morning at 10 at the St. Clair Senior Center. It's free and open to the public. Again, the grief support group, 10 o'clock Wednesday mornings at the St. Clair Senior Center. Also remember, there's a 13-week grief share class. It starts August 4th at Greenhouse Ministries. Don't throw away old glory. Bring your tattered American flag to WGNS and let the girls from BSA Troop 2019 at Trinity United Methodist Church retire it with dignity. Plus, we also recycle Bibles. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor events.
Rutherford weather.
An extreme heat warning remains in effect. A blend of clouds and sunshine develops here for this afternoon. A few spotty showers and thunderstorms at times with a high in the upper 90s. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on News Radio WGNS.
Currently, it's 81.
WGNS is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. MTE's EV Ready program provides members with $50 in bill credits toward the installation of wiring to support 240-volt charging in their garages. Learn more at driveev.com.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
And good morning and welcome to the second segment of Tuesday Mornings with Rick and Wayne. And it's certainly our pleasure this morning to have Mr. Evan Lester, who's the director of the Smyrna Rutherford County Airport. And you've had some big shoes to fill, and sounds like you've settled in pretty quick, and we're certainly happy to have a Tennessee boy running the program. And the economic impact you spoke a little bit about. It's a major business here in Rutherford County.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, it's truly tremendous all that the Airport Authority has been able to accomplish since the '91. So we kind of spoke during the break at after Stewart Air Force Base was closed, it was deactivated and it was transferred to Nashville Airport Authority from '71 to about 1991. Is when the Smyrna Rutherford County Airport Authority took over, and since then the airport, along with the partners that we've been able to work with, have put in over $250 million in improvements over, since 1991. And it's truly been remarkable also to be able to work with the businesses that are located on the airport. And we continue to find new ways to bring even more jobs to the community. And I think one of the biggest ones is, the National Guard. The National Guard coming in and we're really excited about that. We're still working through the details and making sure everything goes smoothly. But there's been some brief studies out there that it can bring in about $1.8 billion of economic impact to the county and the state and also the local community over an 8-year period when they start their relocation process, if everything goes well.
So previously we had helicopters here, correct? Yeah. And they moved that to Nashville. So is there something larger coming back that rather than moved out?
So it's pretty going to be much the same of what was here previously at the airport. So nothing at this time planned in terms of bigger. So there'll be some more helicopters coming back to the airport. But in terms of big aircraft, that's not in the plans right now. In terms of bringing that to the airport, it's just really the helicopters coming back from the airport. They were here about 2015 when they were moved to Nashville. Now they're coming back home. And I think just from the people I've talked to, a lot of them are excited because of the Seward Air Force Base ties. The people who are tied to that history, bringing back the Air National Guard to the airport. I've heard a lot of good things about it from our community, and so we're really excited at the airport too.
So at the airport will it be, I guess I'm trying to wrap my brain around, so you have the Air National Guard and the Army National Guard, so will there be a contingent of both there at the airport? Yeah,
I think they're both planning on being at the airport, and I think we still got little things to do. Go through working with our partners and the National Guard and the state, make sure everything continues to move smoothly. But they plan on both relocating to Smyrna Airport and continue their operation there.
With all these Middle East conflict over the years, the National Guard used to have that weekend warrior stigma, but so they played such a big part in I don't know all the different names, Operation Desert Storm, and all the other conflicts that they really have the respect that they're due now.
Absolutely, and we're very appreciative. At the air show, we always say not only are we trying to inspire, like we talked about before, other generation, but it's a moment to celebrate our military and what they do for our country, what they do for our airport, what they do for the community, and just entirety of what they do on a daily basis. And we're excited to be able to have them back at the airport. To be able to continue to show our appreciation, continue to work with them and help them in any way that we can. And I think, too, a lot of people don't sometimes think about the economic impact of that, too. It's estimated about 1,100 Guardsmen and women are going to be relocating or coming to Smyrna to the future base. And so that brings a lot of people to go shop in businesses and go to eat out at restaurants or fast food chains or go shop for goods and services, so and potentially homes in the area. So I think it's going to have a truly good economic impact on others within our community, both not only Smyrna but Rutherford County, and so we're excited about that.
Oh, a little more traffic too, I suspect.
On the weekends.
Yeah, maybe a little. Maybe on the weekends. Yeah, and so that's really 1,100 Guardsmen and women would be mainly on once a month on the weekend. That's when they'd be full force. And I believe the town is working on a traffic study to make sure that whatever is done, we do it right, and we do it right the first time to make sure that there's as little headaches as possible. So there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of things that we're planning on, but we want to make sure that when we do it right, and we do it right the first time to make sure that everything goes smoothly.
So the interchange, Rick, there at Murfreesboro Road, New Nashville Highway, and Sam Ridley, is that being done in preparation for this improvement, this growth there at the airport? Do you know?
I don't think it's so much for the growth of the airport per se, but it's just the growth in general of what Sam Ridley's seeing and Laverne's seeing. The old Jefferson Pike there on Lowry Street, how it comes out and over that bridge has always been a constant problem, especially now with traffic. So it's going to make that area a little bit bigger and wider, and they can go in and they're going to add signals to that, so you'll finally have a red light right there on Jefferson Pike and North Lowry Street, which, you know, where Frankie is, we've already got a light, so it's going to put 2 there. It's really going to slow down, I think, that's needed for that incoming traffic out of Laverne area. It seems like they come over that hill into Laverne and kind of push the pedal a little bit more, and that'll start slowing the flow down. But it'll make things increasingly in the mornings and afternoons. That whole area is getting pretty congested. We take a lot of the school kids now out of Laverne or bus to Smyrna because of lack of space in Laverne. So that'll free up some of those buses in the morning and give them a little bit more area to work from. But it definitely will help. I think, you know, Weekly Lane is probably going to need to be looked at, and even Fitzhugh, if you want to think about it, to get in and out in that whole little area out there. To it's not been touched in a little while, and it probably can use some attention now. I know we've got the public safety buildings going in out on Weekly there, right by the guard. That'll be where Rutherford County will start doing their own autopsies, and I think they're going to put some other operations in that building as well. So you're going to see a lot of growth in that little area out there.
Absolutely.
Talk about a little bit being at the Smyrna Rutherford Airport Authority. Y'all got land that you actually can lease or sell plots out there, or is it almost gone? Because I know basically on the west side of the airport, that's all where you could come in as not so much an airport, but you can come in. Frankie come in and does kitchen products, and what Hunter Fans is another one that's up in there, and things like that. Is there any more lots left of that space up there? Because that's kind of a hidden gem that maybe a lot of people don't know about.
Yeah, we have really about 4 industrial warehouse buildings that have a lot of businesses in them. Like you mentioned a few, Frankie, Hunter Fan, there's UPS, there's a lot of other businesses within those warehouses. But yeah, I mean, space is getting a little limited on the west side, but we do actually have some space available that's coming up. We as an airport, based on the Federal Aviation Administration, can't always sell property. We really have to lease it because they want to make sure that we retain property enough to operate the airport and things like that of those nature. There's a lot of regulations around it. But so we lease out property from the airport, and there's about a 40-acre parcel of land that we're looking at trying to develop some, just generally site prep it and see, what the atmosphere and kind of the really taste for getting businesses to locate or others to locate at the airport. But there's definitely some land currently in the works trying to find some way to continue to develop the airport. But really, it's not so limited, but we're going to have some projects that will enable some more growth and development. We have some taxiways kind of blocking some of our development areas. And so over time, everything takes time when it comes to airport projects to get aligned with funding and go through all the rules and regulations and requirements we have to go through. But eventually we'll be opening up about another 100 acres over time, more on the northern side of our airport.
Oh, really?
So while the west side may be, limited on space with that 40-acre parcel, over time we'll be able to open up more areas of development on the northern side and continue our growth at the airport.
Yeah, we had Taylor Farms on. I guess it's probably been 8 months to a year ago now, but the president came in out there, and they've actually bought property now over by the it's at racetrack or whatever. It's at Weekly, and it's because they've kind of run out of room over there on the on that if you want to call it the east side of the airport. They've run out, so they've got another lot over there. And he's like, yeah, we don't know what we're going to do with it yet, but we've at least got it land if we figure out what we need to do. But there's a hidden gem out there, and I don't know if you know that, Wayne, but they got a cafeteria out there that's run on the guard, and that's the best $8 breakfast you're ever going to have.
I have eaten there, and it's excellent.
Yeah.
You are correct.
I had an office out on the airport. I was over in one of the buildings on Fitzhugh, and I would sometimes get up early. We might have to work that out, man. Let you get up a little bit early and come down. We'll go eat breakfast out there. But I would go out there a lot of times in the morning before I went in the office, and it was super nice, super nice.
Nice.
Talk about a routine day at the airport. Maybe is there one particular day that turns out to be busier than others, or many of the days the same?
Yeah, no one day is the same. I will tell you that, and I think that's the beauty of it. Is it's a little bit different every single day. Occasionally we'll get to talk to a few tenants about expansion of businesses. Sometimes we get to talk with the operators. We go out and do inspections on the airfield. We get to work with the FAA and TDON on various projects. So honestly, it can be a little different on a daily basis. Every morning we start out with our Department of Public Safety. We make sure that we do the sweeping of the runways, making sure everything's safe and clear. We always make sure that we're operational and ready to go in terms of maintenance. Right now we're doing a lot of grass cutting and weed eating and things like that, trying to keep up with it because not a lot of people know this either, is that we actually own 1,700 acres of property. And so trying to keep up with mowing and cutting of grass, that can be a big operation. And so our maintenance team is dedicated to that. But really, it's a lot of coordination with our partners at the airport to make it all happen. Including some of our projects. You may have seen the Runway 119 project, the grand opening of Runway 119. We were fortunate enough to be funded mostly by the state of Tennessee's TDOT Aeronautics Division for that project. And that took 13 months and $13 million to complete. What was really unique of that project was it had to be fully reconstructed for the first time since it was built for Stewart Air Force Base days. And so as we were digging up the old concrete, and you could see, where the 1940, the workers for the Stewart Air Force Base in the 1940s laid the concrete and what they were doing. And it was kind of cool to see that history, underneath the ground that no one has seen for decades. Yeah. And so it was really, really cool to see that. So working on projects, trying to find new opportunities, bringing that to the airport to support our community, and making sure that operationally we're safe is kind of the daily activities at the airport for someone like myself. And then also we have a great deputy director, Salil, out at the airport. He and I are a great team. We try to make sure that we're steering the ship in the right direction and working hard to make sure the airport reaches its fullest potential.
Because it was built back in the early 40s?
It was, yeah. In 6 months. It was built in 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that means a lot of that concrete was about 85 years old.
It was.
Or 80 plus years old.
It was very hard. It's very hard. If you don't work in the industry, which I don't, I learned, is concrete gets harder as time goes on. That's right. And so as time has gone on, about 80 years old, that stuff was hard.
Dig it up and replace it because it's becoming so much harder.
Yeah.
I can remember them tarring it, because of the cracks in it, and they would come out there with that tar.
Yeah.
And spend days out there with tar trucks doing cracks.
Wow.
So, they talk about. So I grew up on the big white, and that's where the blimp's at now. Mm-hmm. So if the guard's coming in, is that going to go away, or are they going to try to keep that thing and revive it and stay alive? Because I know the doors on that are immense. I remember growing up as a kid, and the motors would go out, and it was just an enormous task to keep them things going. So I can't imagine. I'm talking 30 years ago, so what those things are like today.
Yeah, it's a big hangar. It's definitely a big hangar, and I still think they're still trying to figure out what they want to do with that hangar, whether they want to refurbish it or whether they want to maybe do something else with it. Yeah. But yeah, it's about 120,000 square foot hangar. It can fit probably a couple of Boeing 737s, 727s in there if you use it at its full potential.
A couple,
probably two.
We could get 4 DC-8s in it with the tails hanging out. You could get 2 opposing on each end.
No.
They built in at one point, and I think we could only get 3 in after that. But it could. And you take one side, a long body DC-8 could fit totally in there, and they would repaint them in that hangar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a very large hangar. So to answer your question, I think there's still some discussions on how they're going to utilize that facility. But it's been around for a while, and it's been heavily utilized by a lot of good people.
And I could go in there, and it still smells the same. It brings back childhood, going in there,
Yeah.
But, hey, we're going to have to take our second break. You're listening to the director of the Smyrna Airport, Evan Lester. You're listening to the Tuesday morning roundtable with Rick and Wayne. We'll be right back with you in just a minute.
For 75 years, Murfreesboro Medical Clinic has been a cornerstone of health and compassion in our community. From our humble beginnings to the advanced, comprehensive care we offer today, our commitment to you has never wavered. With 8 locations across Murfreesboro and Middle Tennessee and over 100 physicians, we continue to provide the highest standard of care. Then, now, and always, your health is our mission.
Turn to Turner Security.
Hey, it's Brian, and we've relied on Turner Security for systems here at WGNS and Big GTV for many years. Their advanced security solutions with real-time monitoring and automation keep us safe. Plus, their expert IT service ensures our tech runs smoothly, from networks, computers to troubleshooting. Their team tailors solutions to our needs, and I highly recommend them for home or business solutions for you.
Turn to Turner Security.
This is Chip Walters, and I'm honored to be your 2024 MTAR Realtor of the Year. I'm with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates, and like many of you, I've seen the real estate market shift and change. People often ask, Chip, what's really going on? Well, that's a great question, and I believe in answering with solid, factual data. So let's cut through some of the noise. I invite you to reach out. Let's have a conversation about your real estate goals and the current market trends in your neighborhood. You can find all my contact information at choosechip.net.
No middlemen, no mystery, just fresh picked produce. Straight from the Tennessee dirt to your dinner table. Rutherford County Farmers Market, where our family feeds your family.
Rutherford County Farmers Market. There's something fresh every week. Tuesdays and Fridays, 7 to 1 on John R. Rice Boulevard.
This is Adam Tipton with the Rutherford County Farm Bureau. We would like to show our appreciation to all of our Farm Bureau members by inviting you to our annual membership meeting Monday, August 4th at the Lane Agri Park, 315 John Rice Boulevard. We will start serving barbecue with all the trimmings at 5 p.m. The meeting will be immediately following. For information, call 615-893-1213 or visit our website, rcfarmbureau.org.
Discover hidden treasures at the Garden Patch Thrift Shop on Spring Street in Murfreesboro. Whether you're searching for stylish clothing, sturdy furniture, or even large appliances, we've got them all at prices that you'll love. But here's the best part. 100% of your purchase supports Greenhouse Ministries, serving over 70 families a day. Your shopping dollars go straight back into the community, making a real impact. Shop smart and give back at the Garden Patch Thrift Shop on Spring Street in Murfreesboro.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
And good morning and welcome back to the third and final segment of Tuesday Mornings with Rick and Wayne. And we've had a great time this morning with fellow Rotarian and director of the Smyrna Airport, Mr. Evan Lester. And Evan, you've shared a lot with us this morning. Y'all, and of course it started with John. The airport has partnered with the Smyrna Rotary Club. Rick, it's going to be our 23rd fish fry?
You are correct, sir.
We pretty much take over the airport on that Saturday, and it's always the Saturday closest to 9/11, and this year it's on Saturday the 13th and September 13th. What's the logistics of trying to move around 100 Rotarians or so?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. So, we're very honored and blessed to have the Wings of Freedom Fish Fry. Like you said, it's going to be Saturday, September 13th coming up. And to do that, it does take a lot, but, it's all worth it because the event, the proceeds get to help the community. Everything that we do is for the community. And so to do that, We partner with Azure Flight Support. They provide the venue, they provide the hangar.
Yep.
And that's a huge thing for them to provide that space, because it does disrupt their business. And we don't take that for granted.
Sure.
They have to vacate for a few days for their businesses and their clients that they're working with. So it does take a toll on them, but they're very gracious to always have us host there. So obviously that's one big part is the hangar. But then it comes the logistics, tables, chairs, getting all that in there. And we do kind of have to close off a part of our aircraft parking area for the event. So it's about half of our apron has to be kind of occupied for that event, because we do have the classic car cruise in.
Right.
We do have a big thing coming is the Tuskegee Airmen exhibit. It's called Rise Above. And so they're going to be bringing in a mobile trailer, so students or anyone from the community really who wants to come in and learn more about the rich history of the Tuskegee Airmen and all the important things they did to help our military during the war. I mean, it's going to be a great piece to have at the airport, but also to celebrate during the fish fry. So they're going to be bringing in a mobile trailer. It has some memorabilia from the Tuskegee Airmen, along with about I believe a 15-20 minute video that tells the history of the Tuskegee Airmen in the trailer. And they're also going to be bringing a P-51 from the Tuskegee Airmen. So it's going to be pretty cool to have that on the airport.
That's an amazing plane. It just looks so cool.
Absolutely.
You see all these, I tend to watch on YouTube, the World at War or something channel, and you just see all the old World War II planes and the dive bombers and some of the other fighters. But the P-51 was just so slick and smooth and just looks amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And we had 3 at the air show recently, but having one from the Red Tails, it's going to be pretty awesome. So it does take that logistics. We take half the apron from the airport, we shut it down essentially, secure it, and then we have people come to the event. I think at least 1,000, maybe 1,200 come.
No, it's we're a couple
thousand. Yeah.
We think maybe we might have hit 22 or 23 couple of years ago.
Nice.
But we take up a good portion of that tarmac out there.
Absolutely.
Of course, Rick and I have been cooking for over the years, so we left a little sweat out there too, hadn't we, Rick?
I sure have, buddy. Yeah, we sure have.
It's always delicious too. It's great food. It's great food. But a lot of the great thing about it is not only the community that comes together for that event, but it's also being able to donate the proceeds to charities and organizations and nonprofits within the community that can do so much good with that funding that we can provide.
Paul Lamb and Dr. Holbert, I think, are up in, I forget the name of
Oshkosh.
Oshkosh right now, and they were able to see the museum, Rick.
Oh wow, okay.
So we've had 2 Rotarians actually preview what's coming to us. I saw Brother Paul's post on Facebook, and apparently seemed to be really impressed with the display.
Absolutely. And we're one of select few sites this year that get to have that exhibit at the airport, and so to have it at the airport I think is a big honor. So we want to make sure not only is it a big honor for us, but we want to make sure it's a big deal for them to be here in the community and celebrate them.
And to get the blues as often as we do, I think that's quite the honor as well.
Absolutely, yeah. They love Smyrna Airport, and they love the community when they come here. We always try to treat them like celebrities, because they are in our world.
Sure.
When we ask for an air show, we are not guaranteed the Blue Angels every year. It could be the Thunderbirds, it could be the Blue Angels, but fortunately, they're both great acts. But they love coming to Smyrna Airport. And so over the last several air shows, we've had the Blue Angels come back, and they always tell us how much they love this community, they love this town, they love this county, coming back here because they truly feel the love that this community gives them and the celebrations they give them. And so they always just have great feedback for us, and they always enjoy coming back.
The memorial is probably one of the most impressive things in Middle Tennessee at least, but maybe in the southeast, driving by the Coast Memorial at night with the lights, it just you just go, oh wow.
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe the Top Gun night run also helps benefit the maintenance of that monument. So that's coming up right before the fish fry on September 12th. And so if you haven't signed up, I definitely want to plug in for that, because that's a great event, and this one's really special because this is the sixth year of this event. As you know, Captain Coos was number 6. So I think it's going to be a big event. I think there's going to be some great surprises at the event, and so I'm really excited to see the number of people that can turn out for that event as well.
I think all maintenance comes from private funds. There is no municipal or governmental funds to care for that memorial.
And the thing about it is that's a working plane. That was actually number 2 that flew with Jeff on the day of the accident, which was June 2nd, 2016. So that was plane 2. So when they took it out of service, they went to the Super Hornets there shortly after that because of the crash and getting a newer aircraft, but they sidelined all those. That's actually plane 2 that's on loan for us. So
I did not know that, really.
Yeah, if unfortunately, if there was a wartime that ever came, that they would have to commission those planes and put them back in service, and they would go back to flying. So it's got to be, the maintenance has to be kept, the paint has to be kept up, everything has to be taken care of. It's inspected yearly, and we raise those funds that take care of the maintenance on that plane to keep it in the best shape that we can. So the run, actually, I've run it now a couple of times, and why I don't know, because I'm not a runner. We actually get it to go onto the airport property. That's a part of it. Y'all sectioned off a place, and it's a night run, which makes it different. Yep. Every mile marker will have some kind of sign, so it's usually like how they call it, Top Gun. So you'll have Tom Cruise or somebody, a poster of each at every mark in each mile where it's at, but you actually get a chance to run over on the airport, which will be different this year because, like you said, the Rise Above comes with a tractor trailer exhibit that's going to be there, which I think they're going to have it there a couple of days beforehand, that they're hoping a lot of area school children will come out and be able to see the exhibit and learn a little bit about the history of the Tuskegee Airmen and what they meant to the, they were patrol guys, so they flew with bombers and, kept, when they would come under attack and things, and they were just wiping out Germans left and right, and these bombers didn't know who they were until the day they finally put those red tails on them, and those guys figured out who they were. So it's an amazing story, and it needs to be told, and I'm honored to have it as a part of our Rotary Fish Fry this year. So.
Certainly. And Miss Carolyn Peebles, she willed this to be a successful event, along with Paul Lamb's effort in the beginning, and Colonel Mike Waller, through so many years, and then of course Carolyn took care of so many of the details. I think our club leadership has struggled a little bit to know all that she actually did.
She just took care of things automatically. I mean, we still today, being a director on the board, we're finding things that she just took care of that we never knew she did. She just left a big hole in everybody's hearts as well as our club.
Just an amazing woman of faith, and just wanted to take care of everybody. She was just that we can honor her, and I think I would hope Neil will be with us again this year, and Neil Oren, and of course he just loved her as well.
Absolutely. And before I started in October, it was the first fish fry I had gone to as the upcoming new airport director, and I got to meet Carolyn for the first time. I didn't get to know her really personally, like both of you all have, but I will say she was the brightest person in the room. She was happy.
Presence everywhere she went.
Absolutely. She was just happy to be there to help and support and volunteer and do everything she could to make everything successful. And she is deeply missed in this community, and she was such a great community leader.
And she only had to tell you once,
You better listen. Better listen.
She was nice to me the first time. She met me, but no,
well, she was. She was matter of fact. Like I said, she was a woman of faith, and but she expected everyone to pull their weight.
Absolutely.
She was called the Good News General, and she wore a medal World War II hard hat to go with it.
And the helmet stays at the near the dais. I guess that's what's called the front.
Yeah.
She's. Of course, I went to school with her husband Larry, and he was a great guy, and we just old Smyrna, which I cherish quite a bit.
No, she was an amazing woman, and getting to, like I said, meet her one time, it was just really truly inspiring. How much she does for this community and did for this community, and she definitely left a big hole when she unfortunately passed away. And but I'm glad we're able to honor her legacy with the Redbirds and the Red Tails coming, the Tuskegee Airmen. So very glad to carry on that tradition in her honor.
Anything on the horizon that you anything in your crystal ball that you'd like to share with our audience? I know you probably have some things that you're aware of that you can't disclose yet, but is there anything that you can disclose that you hadn't already talked about?
Yeah, I think probably one of the coolest projects we were kind of talking during the break is a new air traffic control tower that we're working on.
Oh, wow.
Our current one, was 1956. It's still everybody's still doing great, but 1956 definitely is on the older side. So we are working with the FAA right now to say, all right, this is where you're going to put it, and this is how tall it's going to be. Go ahead and start designing it.
Will it stay on that side of the airport, or are y'all going to move it?
That's still to be determined. So we'll know in a couple of weeks from the FAA to say, okay, this is where it's going to go. This is how tall it's going to be. And then we kind of have to move forward with the design after that determination. So it could be on that side of the airport. It could be on the west side. It just all kind of depends on various factors around the airport. So
real fast, because we're getting into time. With a new Secretary of Transportation and he having an emphasis on aviation, are you seeing an impact from the federal government already with that, especially with a new tower going in?
Absolutely, yeah. So we, a lot of folks have been on air traffic control, and so we've been fortunate to be one of 20 airports the last 2 years to receive funding for design of a new air traffic control tower. So, and then also there's been an increase in airport improvement program funds. So we've been able to partner with TDOT and the FAA to receive some additional funding to support the needs at our airport. So yes.
Thank you for being with us. God bless you for your efforts, and especially with the safety. I'm not a huge fan of flying, so safety is paramount to me as well.
Amen. Absolutely. We've been listening to Evan Lester, Director of Smyrna Airport. Everybody have a great week, and please be safe out there, at least till next couple of days. But
be
have
cool.
a great week.
Be cool.